broadcasting on the satellite? Give me a sec, I'm gonna tune in. Sir, I'm having a little interference. I'm checking it out right now. Hold on. I think we found him. Here we go.
You are listening to Wide Range Media.
Welcome, everyone, to Wide Range Media YouTube live event. I'm your host, Holly Mad Al. No, I'm just joking. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and my co-hosts are...
I'm Pablo.
And this is Ralph Perez from Strange Planet. How you doing?
And for another week, we have brought back Silvio Lafrosia from About Men Radio. Silvio?
Yes.
Hi, guys. I'm Silvio from About Men Radio, like Alex just said.
And if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe or hit the like button after the show is done. And let's just go right into announcements.
This week on Announcements.
All right, Silvio, kick off the announcements.
I'm from About Men Radio. We have a blog at aboutmenradio.com. We also have a podcast, which this week my friends Chris Melly and Pedro Rosado spent the whole day talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Oh, okay. In terms of other news,
This weekend?
Huh?
That came out this weekend?
Oh yeah, Star Wars: Last Jedi. You didn't know that?
Oh.
I am shocked.
No, but in other news also is starting in January, we're going to be updating the whole YouTube channel also with more content and more future content. But more of that later down the road. But before we get into the Star Wars discussion and everything, I just would like to say before we start to get this is that we're all friends here. And I hope people don't think that we're all going to be arguing or whatever. We always do this. This is a norm for us. But let's just get right into discussions at the movies.
This week on Discussions at the Movies.
So this week on Discussions at the Movies, I want to surprise Ralph with this. Before we go into Star Wars, I want to hit him with some Halloween news.
Yes, I heard.
Nick Castle is back as Michael Myers. He is
The shape.
Yep,
Yes,
shape.
he is back in the role.
The shape.
But for right now, we're going to go right to Star Wars. So the first thing we're going to do is for people who have not watched Star Wars yet, we're going to do a 2-minute non-spoiler review of the movie. Everyone's going to go around, see if they like it, they hate it, they loved it. They're going to give their 2 minutes on what they thought about it. Nothing else until we go into the spoilers. All right? So first things first, Silvio, since you're our guest, you go first.
Okay. I liked the movie. I liked it a lot. Real close to saying I love the movie all the way. You know, there are some things, and I think we're all going to be talking about it. And even if you haven't seen the movies, you probably already heard. There are some little things throughout the movie that brings it either down or takes some people out of it. We'll discuss it later. But I feel that it went into a new direction that is fresh, and it's something that I think we needed to see. And interestingly enough, J.J. Abrams got a lot of flack for The Force Awakens for doing more of the same old thing, almost beat by beat. And now Rian Johnson doesn't do that, and now he gets flack. So it's, either way, whoever does Star Wars, the next one or the next trilogy or the Han Solo movie that's coming out by itself, it's going to be divisive. The internet gives a lot of room for the vocal minority, and it sounds like they're the ones who are, that they sound like the majority, but they aren't. They're the local minority. They're the vocal minority, and the movie's getting a lot of praise by critics and people like me, maybe. And I think that's really the majority, and not enough of those have been heard yet.
Oh, okay. Good. So Silvio liked it to the love it. Ralph. Anytime, Ralph.
Yeah, well, here's my thing. I put it in my review on my Strange Planet channel. I'm on the fence. I came out of the movie feeling disappointed. I wasn't too crazy about what I saw. And I know it's all over the internet and throughout all of social media. Like there seems to be like a schism splitting the fandom of the Star Wars fan base regarding this film. And I think that you know, I'm part of that. You know, there were parts of it I liked, and there were parts of it I didn't like. And so it has me sitting here like, okay, well, you know, moving forward, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? How is JJ Abrams going to like fix this? If there's any fixing to be done, and that's the real talk, isn't it? You know, should there be any fixing to be done? You know, I mean, there are dumb things out there that are happening right now on the internet regarding people's demand that this movie be changed. And I'm like, no, it shouldn't be changed. I wouldn't do it. And I don't like a lot of the stuff that happened on it. And I think I'm coming to terms with it. I'm coming to peace with it. You know, it's I had, you know, rated it quite low in my Strange Planet channel, 2 moons going around the Strange Planet. I only gave it 2 moons. I mean,
Out of how many?
2 moons
Out of
5.
2 out of 5. Okay.
So it's low, you know, but at the same time, it's a Star Wars movie. Regardless of how you go in and how you come out, it's still a Star Wars movie, and it is episode 8.
All right.
That is my thought.
Ralph is in the dislike to the hated it. Pablo.
All right.
Oh boy, he goes, it's 2 minutes became 10.
Minutes. And if I go over, just cut me off.
Oh, I will.
We'll cut you off.
This movie was visually stunning. Thought it was the best looking Star Wars movie we have seen. And not just because of the technology is there, but because I think the director has a vision, and the way he just framed certain scenes and the action, I thought was great. He used all the tools that he had, which was a really big toolbox because this was an expensive movie, but he was able to use it well. I thought the battle scenes, and obviously that's not a spoiler because it's a Star Wars movie. The Star Wars movie is going to have battle scenes. I thought the battle scenes was one of the best that I've seen, because it was very unique. It wasn't just another battle scene that we've seen before. I mean, this is episode 8, which means that we have seen 7 Star Wars movies. So we've seen a lot of battles. And after a while, they can get a little repetitive. But I thought that Rian Johnson did a great job in bringing some freshness to those battle scenes. And some things, and when we get to spoilers, well, I'll talk about some of the specific battle scenes that I loved. That was excellent. So visually stunning, great battle scenes. I thought the movie was very funny. I thought most of the jokes, not all, but most of the jokes landed, and they landed well. And I thought it was funny. I mean, I was finding myself laughing throughout the movie.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. And so that's the things that I really liked about the movie. Overall, I didn't like this movie. I did not like this movie. It's a Star Wars movie. I did not like it. And I'm going to go see it again, but I'm not looking forward to seeing it again. It's sad because every other Star Wars movie I must have seen 2 or 3 times in the movie theater, and then countless times on video. This one,
including the prequels,
back then, because I think we were fooled with the prequels when they first came out. We walked out the movie theater saying, "Wow, these movies are great," and then later on, when we started to think about it, it was like, not so much.
I think you might have a different experience this time.
Okay,
more and more I'm hearing people the second time they go around.
I did hear that, yes. So, but like I said, I'm not looking forward to it. I will see it, and maybe I'll have a better outcome after I see it again. But I am not looking forward to it the way I did with The Force Awakens and almost all the other Star Wars movies before. So, 2 minutes are up, and that's my take on it.
Before we continue, I would like to look in the comment section. Gladys likes your sweater, Alex, but you haven't seen my sweater, and it's hard to see it from this angle. So I'm going to stand up and show you guys my sweater.
I think he wants to win the best.
I want to win the best sweater. You see the lights?
Yeah, everyone sees the LED lights, bro.
LED lights on the doors. Hold on. There you go. Okay. All right. Let's check, and just wanted to put that out there, and then now we can say who's just the best sweater.
All right.
Whatever.
So This is the first time I think in our webisode and podcast history that I loved this movie. And I'm telling you, I loved it. I saw it 2 times. I had to say it. I know.
Say it loud, brother.
Yes, I saw it twice in the theater for the first time. I said I would never go to see it unless it's really good, and I did it. I went to see, and I loved it the second time. I thought, like Pablo said, the visuals were amazing. And one thing I did love about the movie, that it wasn't CGI heavy and it was all practical effects. That is one of the biggest things I always had with the Star Wars movies. Like episode 1 through 3 looked like it was behind a green screen and they were just looking at a tennis ball when they were talking to these like aliens from outer space. But this one was all practical effects. That's one thing I loved. The second thing I loved about the movie was some of the scenes that Rian Johnson portrayed in the movie was a lot of thought, like you had to think about, like to interpretate it. And that's what I loved about the movie. Like it didn't have to, like certain things. I mean, once we get to the spoiler review, we're gonna get into the spoiler. But certain things I liked is that you don't need explanation for anything. Just let it be. Like, why does everything have to be an explanation? Like, who?
I think we'll get into that.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the way I felt. I felt like you didn't need to explain everything, but I know everyone is making it into the biggest thing since sliced bread that they didn't explain certain things. We're gonna get into it, people. Trust me. We're gonna unleash
the Kraken.
Yeah, we're gonna unleash it.
I'm already disowning my brother.
But you're already disowning him. I'm your brother now.
Yes, I have a new brother.
No, but all right. So my 2 minutes are up. I loved it. Saw it twice in the theater. All right, but now let's get into, guys. If you have not seen it, I'm gonna say this again. If you have not seen this movie, shut it off. Replay it once it's done.
Once you see it, yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
right. It'll be available. It'll be.
Come back.
Come back and watch it. Now it's time to release the leash of the spoilers.
Rancor.
Let's just start with the first things first. The first negative thing was Luke Skywalker
all right, there we
flings the lightsaber into the ocean. I mean, it wasn't in the ocean; it landed behind him, but technically, and a lot of people thought, "Why would he do that?"
So I loved it.
Know what you guys thought about it when y'all first saw it.
Well,
I loved it and I laughed out loud.
Okay, and Ralph,
I thought it was displaced humor. It didn't work.
Okay, Pablo.
I was shocked.
Okay,
I was shocked, and I needed some time to process it.
All right. I thought of it like he looked at it and he goes, "What the hell?" He like, I don't want this crap, and he just threw it right. Like he goes, "Why?" I don't need to do this. He's in a peaceful planet. Like he's a hermit.
First of all, remember whose saber that originally was.
Yeah, that was his father.
Why would he want that thing back? That's right.
And his father.
Why would he want that thing back?
And cut his hand off. Like, why am I gonna hold the saber that he cut my hand off with? Of course, I mean, I had no problems with it. I thought it was a cool scene.
That's the saber that killed all those younglings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it had bad history behind that saber.
And all those what you call those, the Trade Federation guys, when they were hanging out in Mustafar.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I had no problem.
He didn't know.
Overlord Sidious granted us peace.
That's something that Luke probably didn't know.
The what? No, he didn't know that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know the history of that. Or even his father killing the kids. I don't even think he knows that.
No. We only knew that.
No, we only knew that.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, George Lucas.
Unless it was written in the Jedi text in the lore.
Oh, your father killed younglings before he became Vader. And he's like, no!
It's somewhere in those books. Page 5, figure 6. See lightsaber.
Another thing people hated.
We're done with this one, the lightsaber thing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as big. I mean, I thought it wasn't a big of a deal as everyone was making it in.
It was a big deal.
Well, but it set a certain tone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
because
tell
it was. This is meaningless to me. Boom, he threw it away. Later on, and I know we said we're going to jump around. We'll probably try and get back on track. But just another thing, Snoke didn't care who he was. Cut him in half and Rey's parents. Yeah. But see, that's what it comes down to. And guys, my brother I already disowned. Ralph, I don't want to lose you as a friend. But here's the thing: people that had too many expectations for answers, those are the ones that are disappointed with this movie.
Yeah,
Those that went in and said, "Hey, let's just move forward." Snoke. So what? He's just a big baddie, and he got his comeuppance. Now the biggest baddie's going to come up in the next movie, which is Kylo Ren.
True, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I think here's where, if people who have problems with that, like it's a legitimate issue, just like it is a legitimate issue. You can the problem I had with that was that if this was a trilogy that started with episode 7, why then in episode 7 they made such a big deal and they spent so much screen time preparing this for the next movie to just totally
not really. I mean, just think about it. How long did Snoke spend in episode 7?
He was a hologram.
But there was this mystery to him.
Okay, there was a little bit of a mystery about him. I mean, the Emperor,
even
the Emperor, the first trilogy, we never saw him until the second movie, and then we saw him in the third at the end. Okay, well, this is what we got. We got Snoke in 1 and 2, rather than like we did in the first trilogy with the Emperor, that we got him in 7,
2 and 3. Well, you know,
whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
Empire and Jedi. Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I think he needed maybe kill him off in this one, fine. But I think he needed there needed to be more substance with him.
I think
the bad guy that grew and became the bad guy is Kylo Ren, who had to kill his father to become a bad guy, and then he killed his mentor.
Yeah, I think the problem that's going on here, that people are going, "Oh my God, they didn't give," is because everybody made these stupid theories for a whole year.
But
No. But everyone was making these theories.
They make the theories, but the theories were presented by J.J. Abrams.
But no, he did not. But they never established what
why spend so much screen time when Rey touches a lightsaber, and they spend this whole flashback of the Knights of Ren, her parents. And it was all this mysterious thing for them just to suddenly dismiss it in the next movie. Then, if that's the case, I don't mind Rian Johnson taking this direction. I don't mind that, but then don't present it in episode 7. Don't make
but the thing is, I think a lot of fans made up made theories go on. Oh, it's Dark Plagueis. Oh, Rey is the guy walking to Obi. They never said like, who gives a crap?
Oh, but you're missing the point. It's not that the fan. It's not that the theory was misproven or it wasn't proven. It was that there was no theory at all. So there was no explanation at all. Like I don't care who Snoke was. Snoke could have been Anakin reborn. He could have been Darth Plagueis. I don't care. But what I wanted was at least some substance to him. That's what I wanted.
You know what that scene?
Also, and we're gonna get into race.
He's a decoration on a wall right now. That's all he is.
But the
Kylo Ren's he's the ultimate supreme leader, and they needed to build that up. I understand that. That's fine. But the way that Snoke became an afterthought when he was built up in episode 7, that's the issue I had. And I think what it comes down to me is really episode 7 and what J.J. Abrams set up.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
That's the problem that I have with this missing.
All right. The thing that this remind me of, Snoke getting killed is exactly like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. They had Robb Stark, this big freaking character. He gets killed, and everyone's like, "Oh my God!"
Spoilers for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, with Game of Thrones, when the Red Wedding happened, it caught everyone off guard. Why can't Star Wars get everyone off guard and kill Snoke? Like, who cares? He was okay, whatever. The point of the movie was, where was Kylo Ren and where was Rey heading? That was the whole thing on the point of the movie. Not know where, because if it was this, what happened if he would have said, "I am Darth Plagueis," and then she would have said, "Who the hell is Darth Plagueis?"
Exactly.
Who is Darth Plagueis?
Who?
Like, Ray, do you know who Darth Plagueis is? Because I don't know who the hell he is. Then there's another 3 hours of flashbacks about the time period of Darth Plagueis. No, man, like I didn't want to go through that whole crap. I mean, the whole casino scene with them riding through the freaking horses. That took a really long time.
Separate issue too, yeah.
Yeah, but look, like I was saying, was like the whole thing with the Dark Plagueis. See, now I got that stupid name in my head. The whole thing is, I think a lot of fans got their expectations so high with this Darth guy and Rey's parents that when it didn't happen the way they wanted it, it was like an uproar, because there's an uproar on it, especially Luke.
But Okay.
Can I make a comparison?
I would like
Can I
to
make
hear.
a comparison to the
Go ahead.
original trilogy? Somebody who was presented in the second movie, Boba Fett, and
Mhm.
everybody loved him. And then in Jedi, he dies like Wile E. Coyote. Nothing got explained. We didn't hear much more about his slave ship and what he did, until, of course, later on the prequels. But that was it. As far as we knew, those three movies was going to be it. We didn't expect the prequel. And where's the big uproar?
You know,
He was supposed to be a big guy. So I equate it like that.
I'm going to the live chat. Zion saying cutting Snoke out of the picture was a great move. So Zion, I don't know if I can't tell from here.
Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up to Zion, because to Alex, I still have a problem with it. I'm with Pablo on this. I'm with Pablo on this.
No, I have look, you guys have your interpretation or whatever. I thought it flowed with the movie what it needed to go. It needed Kylo Ren to become more bad, and the only way to do it is to cut off the guy's head. Because he had to go through trials.
Cut off his head.
No, I'm saying he cut him in half. I'm just saying he had to go through these stupid trials that Darth Vader never went through. He didn't have
He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back with mechanical legs like Darth Maul.
I just think Snoke was using him because of the Skywalker blood or whatever. And I think he just got tired of it. And
so what was it before that?
He berated him right there at the very beginning of the movie too.
Yeah, take off that mask.
Which is what I told Alex.
Little boy.
Yeah, and then he went like,
"You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing."
Yeah, that was bad.
That's what he did when he cut him in half. That was the point.
And Snoke, I guess Snoke wasn't that strong with the Force. So
he clouded his mind
with the Force, because he was like, he'll never, Kylo Ren would never betray me. He'll never, and he's like, oh my God, he betrayed me. Like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, but
he looked shocked, right?
The look on his face.
Yeah, he's like, he'll never betray me. And it's like, oh my God, he's cutting me in half.
He cut him in half, and he just went. No, but
it was a great scene. It was.
And
it was a great moment. I give you that. That was.
He clouded his mind because he told him what he did to his mind, like to connect him and Rey. So he was like, "Wait a minute, this fruit could just go into my."
He used him as bait.
Yeah, he used him as bait. So he was like, "Wait a minute, you going into my mind now?" So he clouded his mind, and he didn't show that he was like, "All right, I'm gonna cut you off."
Here's my final point. Wait, and then we'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with both of you with that Kylo Ren is the supreme leader, and they needed to advance the story with him, and they needed to get rid of Snoke. I'm fine with that. The problem I had was that there wasn't enough substance with him, and in episode 7, I mean, the fact that Han Solo tells Kylo Ren, he's like, no, Snoke is he's the one who's
he's using you.
Yeah, he's using you. No. So right there, Snoke is a bigger plot in the whole thing of Kylo turning. And again, I keep going to J.J. Abrams because and maybe this is a lost thing where he like build up all this suspense when we wanted a payoff at the end. So I felt that he built up Snoke to be this mysterious big character that we were slowly was going to reveal in the later movies who he was. I mean, his face was deformed. If he wasn't
something happening,
if he wasn't a main character, then he could have just been a regular looking person. Why was his face deformed? Again, it raises questions. That's
right.
As a fan, it raised questions. Why is his face deformed? Why was he in a hologram and not in real person in the first one? Why was he made to seem much bigger than he really was? Why did Han Solo and Leia kept bringing up Snoke? So all these things, you start to say, as a fan, you want that to come to some sort of conclusion. And the payoff, I thought that he needed just a little bit more substance. That's the issue that I had with Snoke. And I'll leave it.
Yeah, Jamel says that he agrees the way he died sucked. Yeah, Jamel, you're right.
Anyway, we leave it at that because it's gonna be
We can talk a whole hour just about Snoke.
It's gonna be a revolving door on this thing.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
All right. the guy has these incredible powers. All right. I don't know what version of Luke Skywalker everybody wanted. I don't know if they wanted the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker to come back, but the guy said it on the island when he said, "What do you expect me to do? Just grab my light sword and just go off and fight the whole First Order?" Like, he told you right there, he ain't going back. So if you thought he was going back, he wasn't.
Well, maybe he changed his mind.
He did not change his mind because he didn't get off the planet. He was
Apparently not.
And I think that's the thing I liked about the Luke Skywalker. He was like, I'm not going. Like, there's nothing you can make me do to go. And I thought that was a cool payoff. Not even his sister got him to go. And he showed up as a Force ghost. And I thought, I mean, I know a lot of people are nitpicking, like, oh, he should have went there and fought him one by one and then the whole thing. And then he turned into a cloth. And then all of a sudden he's a Force ghost.
One with the Force.
Yeah, I thought the way they did it was really cool. Him standing there. And I think the whole point of that whole scene was, I'm not giving Kylo Ren what he always wanted, is to fight me one-on-one. Like, there was no benefit for him to go in front of his nephew and fight him. Like, there was nothing. And that's to show him. I mean, he got scared because he knew that's how strong he was.
Right. And he did more. He saved what was left of the resistance by delaying those guys. And so it was a self-sacrifice moment, just like Obi-Wan did. He self-sacrificed himself.
Right,
so
but I wanted
powerful to help Luke when he really needed it.
I just wanted it to be the same way it was. I just wanted Luke to be physically there, in my opinion. I wanted Luke there.
If you really thought about it, if you wanted Luke there to fight Kylo Ren one-on-one, Luke Skywalker would have won. Because he's 10 times, he's a stronger character than Kylo. Kylo was just more angered, at everything. Like, yeah, he killed Supreme Leader Snoke, but you don't know how strong he got. And to him to go one-on-one with the Jedi Master, I don't think for the storyline, I don't think it would have worked as much because Luke would have.
I don't know. I mean, it was easy for Kylo Ren to kill Snoke.
Well, here's the thing: when he killed Snoke, he wasn't angry the way he was when he saw Luke.
Yeah.
When he killed Snoke, he was in total control of his faculties, and he fooled Snoke, and he twisted that lightsaber, killed him. But when he went after Luke, he was enraged. And remember what Yoda said about the dark side and anger that leads to the dark. He was blinded by his own rage, and he attacked Luke, and Luke got the better of him.
Yeah, and I think Luke was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna face him one-on-one. And just like Xeon said on the thing, Luke not being there is just realistic. How is he gonna get there in time and then in the exact same place?
Well, they showed the X-wing fighter in the water.
The X-wing fighter been in the water for like 60 years. What do you think? He's gonna pick it up and he's gonna go, R2, jump in.
Yeah, but
actually, R2 left his right.
Those ships at the end in the mineral planet, they were all busted and old also, and they were kind of running too. So I mean, listen, my take with Luke.
Yeah, but the X-wing was underwater for like 60 years.
Here's my
I don't know about 60, but all right.
I actually liked his story arc in this. I didn't have a problem with Luke in this one. I really thought that was strong, and he was conflicted. I feel like Luke Skywalker was always conflicted, and he always battled, the light and the dark side. I mean, even Yoda,
even in this one, he told him.
Even in this one, but in Empire Strikes Back, he tells him,
big time,
I'm not afraid, and he goes, "You will be," and then when Luke goes into the cave and he sees himself in a Darth Vader mask. So he always had this struggle. He couldn't bring up the new, the new Jedis. He failed in that.
Right.
He never finished his training with Yoda. He failed in that also. So his confliction and him resistance to train Rey, I didn't have a problem with that. I really thought that was good. And the whole Force projection at the end, I thought that worked well too. So that I didn't have a problem. So with that one, I'm with you guys, and I'm with Rian Johnson. I really like that. I know people wanted to see Luke go out in a blaze of glory, but he didn't. But I was okay with that. So that one, I'll definitely give you. So
Luke Jamel in the links in the chat says Luke's transfer from Actu to Crate was done before Yoda did it in Rebels season 2 when Yoda was talking to Ezra.
Yeah, he shows up in the ship.
There you go.
I think it's a ship, or I forgot. Jamel, was it in the ship? I think it was in the ship that he was talking to him. that he appeared.
Yeah.
It's a quick theory that I didn't see anywhere on the internet, but I could be wrong. But let me bring it up. Do you think that in the original Star Wars, A New Hope, right, when Darth Vader strikes down Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Oh boy.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I mean, he was like in the sand people place.
no, that he just disappears, right? He
Right.
just kind of vanishes, and it's very similar to how Luke did and how Yoda disappeared, right?
Yeah.
He just vanishes. Do you think that Obi-Wan Kenobi was maybe doing force projection himself there, and he was still at the thing where he was turning off the tractor beam? Maybe Obi-Wan was there all along, and Darth Vader was fighting a force projection
Well, I've got a
to
similar
help
theory.
Luke and all of them escape.
Well, here's the
So in
problem
the
with that.
Okay, so poke
Here,
holes in
you know,
my
I,
theory.
I get what you're saying, Pablo, but here's the problem. There was, unlike Luke,
They
everything
struck
else was
lightsabers, right?
physical.
Yeah,
The
okay,
lightsaber
you're right.
dropped,
You're right.
the clothing dropped. It was still there.
Yeah, okay, that's a good.
So, you know.
All right.
Well, I've got something similar to that, and it kind of falls apart a little in that Luke was not a Force ghost when he did this. He became a Force ghost after it because he used up so much energy. But pointing back to something similar to what Pablo was saying, Obi-Wan Kenobi said, "If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you possibly imagine." Blah blah blah. We all know that. And then, if you remember, at the end, and he's talking to him while they're attacking the Death Star, Gold Leader. No, the other leader was a Red Leader who shot and it only impacted on the surface.
Mhm.
But then Luke's curved in. What made him curve in? The Force, Obi-Wan working as a Force ghost because he's now more powerful than you can possibly imagine. So I like Force projection, and I think Luke used it properly in this. And now he's a Force ghost.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool scene. I don't know. I love that scene. The scene was really good.
I was expecting Luke to die in this. I just didn't like that they went with that direction.
Well,
But I
speaking of
get it. I
Skywalker
get
deaths,
it. I do get it though.
And how
yeah, I do as well. But
that's the thing. Like, how did he enter the cave when all the doors were closed? All of a sudden, he walked in. I was like, wait a minute. Luke is cool because I was like, he did, unless he moved all those rocks in the back and then he threw them right back. Like, you guys ain't escaping.
And
Like-
Poe even
the
said,
Force is
remember-
more than moving rocks.
yeah, Poe even says, how did he get in? There must be a way out.
Yeah, so pretty much that was telling you that he projected in.
Right.
The other, I mean, we could talk quick about the stupid casino scene with the Finn.
Oh God,
I
don't.
think
Yeah.
we all agree, right?
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, that
We
was
all
horrible.
agree
That was a
was
waste
the
of
part
film.
That's
Yeah.
what kept me from loving the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Oh,
Yeah.
and one thing I do want to say, a wasted opportunity with the casino was when they started panning and looking up and trying to find the guy with the red flower, everything. Wouldn't it have been great if sitting down there was Lando?
Yeah.
Right.
And that
I
Because
thought-
he was
I
a
thought he was gonna
gambler.
be the code breaker, personally.
exactly, and they couldn't get to him, and they had to end up with DJ and all of that. But it would have been fantastic if at that moment there you see Lando Calrissian.
That's right. Coke 45.
I wasn't too thrilled with DJ.
No, I did not like DJ.
Yeah, I thought they should have brought back Hondo from Rebels and but I know he'll be 10 times older. But I thought it would have been awesome to have the pirate Hondo, the cartoon. But I didn't like DJ. He was like a million credit. And I was just like, oh dude, you're annoying. I mean,
I
great
can see
actor.
what they were trying to do with him, saying, when he showed them that, the arms dealers sell to both sides, and that basically he was also a turncoat. He would work for whichever side would pay him. But it didn't land with me.
No, I
It
didn't
didn't
act
with
with
me
me either.
either. It was.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
I
Rose's
agree.
character was annoying. I thought she was annoying.
I didn't think she was annoying. I think the position they put her in the film was.
I agree with Ralph.
Because what I didn't understand was Finn was going almost head on with this damn cannon thing to go into the wall, right? To crack it like an egg. And all of a sudden she made a 360 and came from the left side. And I was like, wait a minute.
That was a
No,
great scene, though.
No, it was. But I'm like, these destroyers are not shooting at it. They're just watching. Like, look at these two idiots going to crash at each other. Like, that's what I thought they were doing. Like, look at this. And
But
then
she said, we're not going to win by killing what we hate, but rather saving what we love.
yeah,
And then she gives him that whack kiss.
I think he's gay.
The only thing that Freaking
Say it like you. Hey, say it like it is, bro. Say
But
it
I
like
love
it
someone
is.
else, and then he looks at Poe.
And then he looks at.
The only thing with Finn's storyline and his arc,
Yeah.
because at the end he failed, so
Yeah.
they didn't
I like-
accomplish.
Yeah.
They didn't accomplish what they what they
Yeah.
went out to do.
Yeah.
You know
So
what would have been? Go ahead.
Well, at first I felt that was, it was Finn was wasted in this movie, but the overall theme of this movie is failure.
Yeah,
So-
and so was The Empire Strikes Back, by the way.
Yeah, so in that sense,
Yeah.
I can somewhat see and maybe understand. Okay, that then Finn's storyline kind of makes sense, but I really did not enjoy the whole casino scene. And that,
Tigers. Casino.
Yeah, that was right.
it took me out of the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was bad. I mean, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, people. We all know
The space one?
this scene.
When Luke milked that cow.
No,
Yeah, that too.
done. That was
Now we know where the blue milk comes from.
no, it wasn't. It was actual milk.
That was green.
No, it was actual.
Oh
milk.
God.
They tinted it during the post production. Now I don't know. I thought it was pretty.
Hi, homogized? What's it called?
Hey, I can say a little something about that too. If you remember, all the hermits, Ben living in the wastelands of Tatooine, Yoda
Yeah.
living in Dagobah, they had to survive somehow. They had to eat. I'm sure Ben milked a few banthas, to get the blue milk, and who knows what Yoda was eating. Here in this one, they kind of showed us what Luke, the Jedi Master Hermit, was doing. That's how he survived.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty cool, that scene. But no, the elephant in the room is Superman. Let's just get that out the way.
Super Leia.
Let's talk. Describe it, Alex. Tell us about that scene.
All right, so that scene, she's in the cockpit, right? And then her son
The
is-
bridge.
Yeah, she's on the bridge, right? And he's like, "Oh, I'm conflicted. Should I shoot? I'm not gonna kill my mom. I already killed my dad." And then the two TIE fighters went, pew, and blew it up. The first time I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, they actually took her out, which is cool because she died in real life. So I was like, that's a cool way to go out to continue the story. Oh no! She blows out. Stop, and then you go.
John Williams too.
And then she's like, "Oh my God!" The force pushes her, and then you go, "Wait a minute, Super Leia!"
She even did the arm thing too.
Huh?
She even did the arm thing. She had like her arm.
Yeah. It was great. It was like I was like this. I was like watching it, like really.
Yeah.
Oh, like I got the whole thing. Oh, she's powerful in the force. I just didn't like the visual of it.
You
You
know,
know what I'm saying?
I
The
thought
wide angle shot didn't work for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
it would have been 10 times better the minute the missiles hit. That she must have did something to stop it from getting exploded. You know what I mean? Like something cool, like she
Yeah.
used to like move the missiles or
Some
something.
sort of shield.
Yeah, to put a cool like force shield. All of a sudden, she blew out of that window. I was like, "Come on, man!"
Here's the thing with
And
that.
she didn't reach out and grab the Akbar and brought him in too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You flew back to the. You
I
should've-
mean, he like we lost a beloved
I
character.
can't.
You know, like all right. Here's my thing with that scene on Leia.
Yeah.
Because I was throughout the whole movie, I was thinking how are they going to handle,
Mm.
Carrie Fisher's death.
Mm.
Are they going to kill off Leia here? And when that scene happened, that was very abrupt. Like it was like a shock. I said,
They
it
did it.
yeah, they did it. It was shocking, but I mean, they're in the middle of a battle. She's a general.
You go down with your ship.
Yeah, I was ready to accept it,
Oh,
and that could have been I don't want to use the word good place to kind of kill
write them off.
or write her off. But then when they did the whole force thing and her the I mean,
There it goes.
And then she moved.
I mean,
And then she did it again at the door when Poe was like, Finn, are you there? Finn. And then they were like, we got you, you rebels come. And then he heard it, he was like, is that Leia? Is she awakened? And then you see the eye lady breaking the door. And then she goes
Yeah.
And then she stunned him.
She stuns him.
She stunned
him.
She did the
Because
Vader.
Poe, and that's the other part of this whole thing, the whole coup thing, or not coup, mutiny thing that Poe was doing.
Mm-hmm. Remember
another unnecessary move.
Remember when Vader flew in the Return of the Jedi? He went, oh, when he went from the top of the stairs down.
That was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, when they pulled him by the ropes, and you could tell like they had that's the only CGI they had. He was like, oh, he looked like a vampire. He's like, I was born a vampire. He just started fighting. They should have did that with Leia. She should have floated in, like instead of walking with the king. That would have been awesome.
Here's my final thing with Leia, and then I'll ask my brother what his thoughts is. They asked Ryan Johnson. They even asked him that very question. Like, that could have been a good place to just, just give her like a send off. But they so much more after that, because the intention of bringing her back in the next movie. So after the passing of Carrie Fisher, they didn't want to remove all that, all the scenes that they shot later.
Right.
Okay, so I accept that. What they could have done was something where maybe there was an explosion on the deck, and and knocked her unconscious, and then maybe they come and save her, because I mean she was unconscious for like a good part of the movie.
Yeah,
so maybe they could have done the whole thing. Anyway, that's my take on it.
Well, I think they could use her. Well, if they're gonna keep her in the movie, they might just use her as a character, like, oh, Leia said this, or she sends these rebels, or these resistant fighters.
She could have just climbed up to the glass when nobody was looking and said, "Hey, meet up." I mean,
yeah, like, hello, hit the button. I'm alive.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I had no problems. I mean, yeah, she did die or whatever, but I think they could continue using her in 9. It's just she's gonna be a character that you could just write in. Leia said this, or she did.
Jamel did not like it. He thought it was the most ridiculous scene ever.
Oh, that was the most ridiculous scene ever.
Yeah.
When you rewatch it the second time, it's worse. It's the worst.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna see it again. I am gonna see it again, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene was goofy. And with the whole arm thing, maybe they could have done it a little bit better. And
maybe it was Disney and they were thinking about Mary Poppins.
Yeah, somebody said they Mary Poppins her.
Chimney.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, you have this group of writers and directors and executive producers, like this team of people. When they're seeing this in post or in the editing room, like, don't they see that and say, this is
that looks kind of
yeah, maybe we need to, because they could have just edit things out. It's not like they had to go back and do a reshoot.
Well,
oh my God! Side note. Admiral Akbar died, right?
Yeah. We talked about that. Yeah, that a beloved character died in that very scene.
Yeah, he got blown out into space. He didn't. Yeah.
And she didn't reach out to grab him and bring him back in.
You should have seen it.
Well, I mean,
so we was going to say something.
Yeah. So.
No, go ahead, Alex.
No.
I got to regroup my thoughts.
Oh no, I mean, my thing is, in terms of them trying to write off or whatever, I agree with you. If in post production they saw it and went, "Oh man, this looks pretty bad," it's not like they could do anything about it now because she passed away. So,
well, okay, that's the point. And my brother said it earlier. He said editing. I recently saw a YouTube thing about the editing of the original Star Wars, and I had already heard the story somewhere else, and now I actually saw that video. The original edit that George Lucas put together, he showed it for a few friends, and some of those friends was Spielberg and not Coppola, Brian De Palma. They sat in a little preview thing, and they said, no, that does not work. I can't understand it, blah, blah, blah. And they went back and re-edited it. And in some of those edits, this filmmaker that put it all together was pointing out, a lot of the things they showed the same scenes. They didn't do reshoots, but they did a lot of voiceover stuff. lighter, and they made it the Star Wars that we know. If we had seen the original Star Wars, we wouldn't be talking today about this because that would have been it. That would have been, a movie like The Last Starfighter. Some people remember it, and that's it.
Yeah, I can't.
So I think that in edits, they probably could have done something with the Princess Leia character. I thought at the very end, because just like Pablo, when she got blown up, I said, okay, good. They used that as the way out, and then she floats back in. I thought when the admiral said that she's going to turn, well, she didn't say it, but you kind of could tell that she's going to do a suicidal thing by staying on the ship. At that point, maybe they could have done something in the edits when Princess Leia grabs her and do a voiceover outside that says, "No, I'll do it." And Leia was the one who later hits the hyperdrive and boom, explodes everybody. And she would have gone out.
Yeah, but then it would have been even funnier because she would have been in that little ship, right? And then she would have hit the button, and then she would have went. And then she opens the door, she goes, "Go!" and throws her in the stupid pod, and then blows her off, and then she goes to the Force. But
I didn't think of that. That's a great point. That Leia could have been the one to sacrifice herself.
Yeah.
For the resistance, and that would have been a great send off.
Right.
Episode 9, she dies, and they do like a princess.
Well, they said they're not going to do any CGI or anything weird like that. They don't have anything filmed, so the only thing they can do is put it into the crawl. Princess Leia is dead.
That she passed. Yeah, because I would like to think, unlike these two films, these two episodes are connected to each other by mere hours, and the timeline. So unlike the other films, that it's like years between.
Right.
Let it be years between now. Let this happen years later. And Princess Leia died. They had a funeral. Everybody went to the wake. Somebody brought ham. Everybody's good. So it's like.
No, I thought it would be
green milk.
I think it would be cool if they
green milk.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they start the movie off with her funeral and everyone is there doing their send-offs. I'm like, you know what? That would
be good. Yes,
that would be good. Yeah,
unless that's what they're holding off for, and then you see Kylo Ren in the distance, like doing the mind thing because he felt his mom die. I'm like, what? That's pretty cool. But now let's get into the goods because we've been on for like 47 minutes.
Yeah. Well, can I start with a couple of the goods? Is that all right?
And don't give me no Easter egg like, the X-wing is underwater, because I'm like, no, that's not good to see.
No Easter eggs. I like now this is gonna be. I thought about it and I said, okay, I get it. Rey, her lineage, her parents. Remember that whole thing about Kylo Ren telling Rey that her parents were actually nobodies?
Yeah,
they were junk traders that just traded her off for money, and then they left her there on Jakku. After a while, I was kind of like, that I wasn't so bothered about, and I get it, because if you think about it, the Force in the Star Wars universe, some people are born with more potential for it than others, more power for it than others. Anakin was a nobody too, once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? Not getting into all the details about that, but Rey, like the whole Snoke mystery for the last 2 years since Episode 7, there's been this kind of wonder on the internet. Who is Rey? Who are her parents? Is she Luke's daughter? Is she Han's daughter? Is she Leia's daughter? Is she so there's this whole thing about who she was. I heard some crazy theories out there, and now that now people are saying, oh, he was lying. Kylo Ren was lying to her. So the mystery continues. We'll find out in the next movie, but maybe we won't find out, and maybe that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I think there was a scene in the movie where Luke told her that when he was breaking down the Jedi thing, they're saying that they used them, like if you don't do good with the Jedi, they like disown you, like they did to Ahsoka. Like they treated her like crap, and then when they
I like that part.
Coming back, well, I think that's the thing that he was trying to tell her. He was like, you know what, anybody has the Force. It's just if you tap into it and blah blah blah. If you don't follow the code, and that's like. And I think that was the point of this movie also.
Yeah, because they showed it with the final scene.
Yeah, with the kid grabbing.
True, because that kid is going to be a Force user probably, and maybe a new generation of Jedi. What I also liked was Luke making a quick reference to Emperor Palpatine by his Sith title, Darth Sidious. I don't know if you caught that. Right, I was like, oh, that's a nice nod to the prequels. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we finally saw the green lightsaber in the flashback when Luke was about to kill Kylo Ren right there in his sleep. So I was like, my question is this: where's that green lightsaber now? Is it buried under the rubble of the whole thing? Does Luke have it at home or what?
It's in the ocean next to the X-wing.
It's in the X-wing. Yeah.
It's in the X-wing.
It probably is. It probably is.
He's like, I don't need this. And he threw it right in the water. He goes,
I would love to see Rey get a hold of that because the blue one broke in half.
She needs to make her own. She needs to reuse that crystal from the broken lightsaber
and get a dual lightsaber.
Yeah, and get a dual lightsaber on her staff and get total badass.
Yeah,
that would be hot. That would actually be hot. I would actually like that. Actually, that would be hot.
Other big moment that was really good was when Rey and Kylo fought side to side.
Before we move,
that was excellent.
Oh wait. Pablo wants to say something.
I kind of wanted to give my take on Rey's parent.
Okay.
Here we go. Another 20 minutes.
Because this is the one that this is the one I had the biggest problem with.
I was about to bring you back in the fold. Now I'm going to disown you again.
Rey's parent. And I'm just going to read a quick comment by Zion Vale. He's he or she. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but comment reads, I'm trying to intertwine her with the crazy enough family tree would have been too much. Here's the problem that I had with that. I'm okay that Rey's parents were nobody and she comes from nobody and she's one with the Force. Like I don't have a problem with. Luke did it. Hell, maybe even Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? We don't know his parents, right?
Oh, what about that blind guy in Rogue One?
It could have been anyone and nobody, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, we see
the one with the Force.
Yeah, so that I don't have a problem with. And Rey's parents being a nobody, or her not being a part of Kenobis or Skywalkers or even Solos, which I heard, that theory out there too. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I had was that what purpose did it serve presenting that in episode 7 and then here in episode 8 if at the end she was a nobody? They should have just not mentioned anything. And that's the issue I had, because they made such a big deal in episode 7. She constantly talked about, I need to get back to Jakku because I have to be there for my parents if they get back. My parents that. Who is she? And then when she touches, let me finish my point. And then it's a lightsaber, do the whole big scene with leaving and her crying, and she's okay. So they made such a big deal. They alluded to and that her parents or who she is was a big deal in this.
It was just a big deal to her.
And that was the problem that I had with this. Then what? Then don't do it at all. They could have saved enough. They could have more time to focus on other things. They should have just let her go, and she would have just shown up and then be strong with the Force. That's the problem I had with. And again, it goes back to J.J. Abrams. I think he had some sort of a vision, and that Rian Johnson took it a different way. Okay, I understand that, but then why, spend all this time focusing on her parents or lack of parents or who the parents were when eventually they became nobody? That's the issue I have.
I mean, I understand what you're saying in that point, but I mean, my thing is in terms of the whole episode 7 into, whatever. I mean, they had to introduce these characters to everybody because, I mean, basically it was a New Hope, but just retold like for the modern age people. I mean, like for this generation, like to continue the storyline, which I had no problems with it. But with Rey's parents, like how, if it would have said, your parent is a Skywalker, it would have been like, oh, okay, here we go. Like, is it one of those things?
No, that would have been too. That would have been too easy.
It would have been too obvious. Like, oh, okay, this is Skywalker. Or if it was Obi-Wan Kenobi's daughter, then you would have been like, how the hell did he have a daughter?
But I don't care about that.
Yes, you do.
I don't know if you want to structure that question right, Alan.
No, but I'm saying is,
why they presented the
to get people in the seats, to have you talking about the next movie. That's the only reason they did that. Just like Snow.
You guys see the point I'm trying to make?
No,
I see it. Yeah.
I see it, but it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't.
But you know why? You know why I'm kind of okay with it? Because you kind of got a hint of it in episode 7 when after she had that vision, Maz Kanata kind of like made it clear to her, look, whoever left you on Jakku, they're not coming back.
Yeah, like
so there was already kind of a hint there that,
like if you were a kid and your mom left you in Jakku, you want to go back and wait for your parents to come back. Like It doesn't have to be a Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was just that she wanted to go back to see whenever they come back for her. And I thought I didn't have no problems with that. But once the lady with the big glasses,
Maz
told her, you know, they're not coming back, she kind of accepted it. And then she ran in the forest. Oh my God. And then she was like telling her, you know, whoever owned this lightsaber is calling to you. I don't think they were saying that Luke Skywalker, you're part of his family. I think the Force was calling her because she was strong with the Force.
She's very strong with it.
Yeah, and she has what's that thing called? Foresight.
Midichlorians?
No, she has foresight.
Oh God, don't bring that up.
No. She has foresight that she could see into the future. And I think that's what she did when she touched it. She saw into the future. She got scared. She's like, I don't want to be part of this. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna get out of here. And then she ran into the forest.
You're making my point. I understand that. I totally agree with you. That.
But the whole thing that she has, like her parent thing, is like
they should have never nothing. They should have never presented. They should even never mention her parent. She should have just been an orphan or just someone by herself, and then she meets Finn, and then that's it. That's my problem.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what I liked? I'm going to tell you what I liked. It kind of took me back. When Luke went into the Millennium Falcon and found R2-D2, and he became young Luke again. You hear him, R2, you know, like it kind of made you feel. So that was a nice nod. And I loved how R2 kind of like reminded him of his place by showing him the hologram from the original film. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
I like that.
That was great. I was like, yep, keep that.
And I think the cool thing about that scene was that basically he told R2, I'm not coming back. Like, whatever you show me, I'm not coming to save my sister. Like, he's like, I'm done with this. I'm in this planet, and that's it. And I like that. And I like that they stuck to it.
And it was sad to see. There was a sad, melancholy moment when Luke, and even though he was not there technically, physically, him and Leia spoke, and he kissed her on the forehead. And it was kind of this moment, and we all knew that was the last time those two were going to be on screen together, ever.
Hey, did you guys catch the makeup moment that Rian Johnson, I guess, put in there to help J.J. Abrams? Because J.J. Abrams even said it. I missed that with the big hug between Chewie and Leia.
I did see that.
Yeah, because in the first one, they said, you know, Chewie walked right by Leia, didn't give her a hug after the whole Han thing. And they felt that was wrong. It was misappropriated.
It was wrong.
Because
it was wrong.
And JJ acknowledged that. He says, yes, I did miss that. So I just think Rian Johnson's like, here, buddy, let me put it in here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was
dude, you're in the dark.
No, yeah, I know.
He went to the dark side.
Yeah, Pablo got me there.
See,
Pablo got me.
You will never betray me. I know you.
Oh, Alex got a plan. Hold up. Alex got there he goes. There he goes.
See?
Got the mask on again.
Stupid Kylo mask on because you got me tight.
Yeah, but Kylo Ren, but Snoke was like, mask. You're a little boy. Take that mask off.
Yeah.
Take off that
and then he gave him the whooping. No, but in terms of like, look, I have no problems with that stuff. I mean, that's all in the cons. But in terms of the pros, I thought that scene when he kissed Leia and whatever, I thought that scene was mad powerful. Another scene that was super powerful, it was when Kylo Ren walked into that room and he picked up his father's dices, and his light that he had left disappeared with those dices because he was alone. Like, this is it. Like, there ain't no point of no return. Like, you don't have your father no more. You don't have your mother. You don't have your uncle. Rey abandoned him. It's like, that's it. You're done, dude. And I thought that scene alone was the most powerful scene in the whole movie. And it was crazy.
The dice, which was really like non-existent in any of the Star Wars movies.
It was in Rian Johnson said it was in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, like barely.
Yeah, barely could see them.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Go ahead.
Those dice that set is gonna play a big part in the Solo movie.
Yes.
What, to bring him back to the light side?
I agree.
Oh, it's
the Han Solo project.
Yeah.
Oh.
How come they're not fuzzy dice hanging on the rear views?
Well, maybe. I mean, I thought that scene was super powerful. I thought that was like, to me, that was the biggest scene to me that I was like, whoa! Like, I came out the theater like, that's the most powerful scene in the movie.
I agree. I mean, I don't know about the most powerful scene, but it was
It is.
Like, to me, the most powerful scene, even though I didn't like it too much, now that I think about it, was Luke passing away and just kind of disappearing, looking at what appeared to be twin suns in the sky, but it really wasn't twin suns.
Just like Tatooine.
But it was like Tatooine, just like that moment when he was young in that first film. You know, he saw the two suns, and it was kind of like, wow, yep. The way it begins, the way it ends.
I've got another pro that I liked on my end, and I've heard some people say no. Return of an old friend, Yoda puppet.
Oh my God! Yeah, Yoda Muppet from Empire Strikes Back.
Frank Oz, I loved it. I liked it because I never liked the CGI Yoda. He just did not have.
Flipping around with the green lightsaber and everything.
Well, I didn't mind the flipping around part, and that CGI part of the fight I accepted, but all his close-ups were all CGI in the prequels, and I did not like that.
I get that. I liked the puppet. I liked the lesson that he was giving Luke, that failure is the greatest teacher.
Absolutely.
That's very applicable in all of our lives in one form or another at one point or another. So knowing he said that, like when he said that like actually struck to me. I was like, wow. Yoda. Loved Yoda.
I think another thing, one thing that I really liked about the movie was the score.
Yes.
Was outstanding in this movie.
Who's
absolutely
the guy who put that together?
Huh?
John Williams.
Oh,
John Williams, man.
I mean, I thought in episode 7,
yes, I know.
The music that he gave to the new characters, I thought it was really, really good.
Yes.
But overall, the score, I felt like I don't know, like something was missing. Like, I mean, it was good. It was very good, but I thought maybe he just kind of needs to get back into it or something. I don't know if maybe it felt that way. But this one, the score is amazing. The music throughout the whole movie,
and it had a whole bunch of callbacks too within the scores themselves.
Within the scores themselves, like Luke and Leia's moment, that's from Return of the Jedi. You know, and I was like very moved by that. I remember as a kid, I used to listen to the soundtrack. I had the soundtrack. As a matter of fact, guess what? I still have it.
In vinyl.
Vinyl.
We have a lot of stuff in the chat. So here we go. Jamel0306 says, well, it could happen. Obi-Wan lied to Luke in The New Hope.
Yes.
Zion,
very good point.
I'm glad her parents were nothing. Trying to intertwine her with the crazy enough family tree. We already read that. Jamel said, I feel there's more to it than that. It felt like it was told from a curtain's point of view. Nina said, I think Ryan just ignored most questions being asked by fans and focused on Kylo and Rey's storyline, which I agree.
Way to go, Nina.
Angelina said, maybe when they did the 7th movie, the writers didn't know who Rey's parents were, or they couldn't figure out how to fit it in the 8th movie, so they just dropped it.
You know, I think I agree with that. I think that when they were doing episode 7, I think they thought that they were going to do more with it in the future movies. And maybe they couldn't figure out how to do it, or maybe the theories got too crazy and Rian Johnson said, screw this. I'm dropping. But I think, like I said, there had to be more to it than that because they focused so much of it.
And the door is still open. I mean, do you always believe whatever a supervillain tells you?
That's true.
She did say, he did tell her, you always knew.
Yeah.
So I think
he's a good liar.
Yeah. Well, they said, I feel like her parents was a plot point for her to deal with personally, a conflict that she had to deal with that didn't necessarily had to lead to a big plot point. And then Pablo, the Constitution should have been happening in episode 7. And then Vale said, yeah, that's a fair point. Although it wasn't a big movie killer for me.
Okay.
So yeah,
but you know what I think moving forward, I must say, now we got to spend another couple of years waiting for episode 9, which by the way has been slated to come out May 24th of 2019. Yeah, it's not going to be in December.
Really?
Sure.
Yep. I've been reading it all over the place. May 24th. They're popping that boy back in May. Because and I think it has to do with
the
another Marvel movie. I think it has to do with I don't know something.
I see here December 20th, 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So I got some people are lying then.
No, that all could change.
Solo movie comes out in
December of next year.
No, summer.
This summer, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Han Solo
Well,
movie
as,
we got something to look forward to.
as this stands right now, domestically, The Last Jedi hit 261 million, foreign 274, with a worldwide total of 536.
Wow, that's $500 million, right?
$500 million already.
the movie's making money, and maybe we can talk a little bit about. We talked about Rotten Tomatoes and the scores and everything like that, but if you look at the cinema score, which
Yeah.
is more accurate than Rotten Tomatoes,
A plus.
yeah, cinema score gave it an A. So
Yeah.
the audience liked it. The majority of the audience liked it. I think it's like what my brother said earlier in the episode, where that it's
It's a loud minority.
yeah, it's the very few who have a very loud voice because of the internet. Those
Yeah.
are the ones who are complaining about
You
it.
mean like me?
Well, let's be honest, if the internet never happened,
Like I said, I had
suck it up and you would enjoy the movie for whatever it was.
but I'm not hating. Like I'm not signing a petition for and to get this movie out of canon.
Removed from the
already
canon. Yeah, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, whoever came up with that is stupid. I'm like, what are you? I'm sorry. Come
Yeah, that guy
on,
needs to
man.
be
Come
shut
on.
This movie sucked, and and this is terrible, and screw Ryan. No, I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
I had my issues with the movie. I wish they would have gone in other directions, but I accept it, and I'm definitely looking forward to episode 9 and
Yeah.
see a conclusion to this trilogy. So
Yeah, because we're all moving on. We're all moving on to other things and greater things.
And we forgot Captain Phasma.
Oh my God, she died so quick.
Yeah, she went right into
Into the fire! Into the fire!
yeah, she went right into that fire with one.
They say that she might have actually survived that because she has heat-resistant armor. She might have gone right through it and then
Right.
escaped in a pod somewhere, and she'll be back in episode 9
She
And
did.
we'll see her with a burn in the eye with that.
with a burn in the eye. Remember
mask
that
broke.
look?
Yeah, where the mask
I
broke.
don't like you.
Yeah.
You suck.
7. Good to have you again. No, but I thought. I mean, that scene was blur. I was
Yeah.
like, for 2 seconds, and then she went right through the floor. I was like, oh Lord, they're tying up everything.
Yeah,
Right,
they really are.
Coming back for 9. It's time to destroy.
But what I am looking forward to in 9 is where Kylo Ren will be at that point. I'm almost confident it's going to take place years later, and he's going to have grown into a very powerful evil dark side user. Like he's going to be almost unstoppable at this point. And I like to see him change from being the brat, like he didn't like my mask, all the way up to
Hey, totally
whatever
in
he's
charge
going to
now.
become. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's roll then.
Well,
Admiral-
the minute it alluded the minute General Hux came in and he said, he told him, what happened to Supreme Leader, which he was gonna shoot Kylo Ren when you saw him open the jacket and he was about to shoot him until Kylo got up and he went, wait a minute, He's like, and then that's when he was like, oh, she killed him, and then he was like, well, I'm not following you, and then he went, "Rah!" And then he hit him with
Kylo Ren is throwing him around like garbage, man.
Yeah, which that's telling you that he's already like, I think the minute he saw Luke Skywalker, he was infuriated. And I think that's what got his character to be more crazier.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, shoot! Ah! Like, and I thought that planet with the red was amazing for those
It was.
Because
I liked it.
Yeah, and I thought those action scenes with the red powder going everywhere, the salt.
Yeah.
I thought that made that scene like 100%. I was like, that was a cool decision. Whoever thought.
Yeah.
And people pointed out on the internet, I hadn't noticed it. Now I want to see it again. When Luke Skywalker walked, he didn't.
That was one of the first indicators that he wasn't really there, because he also had the Skywalker lightsaber on the hip, and I was like, wait a minute, didn't that snap in half a little while ago?
And he had a haircut, and he dyed his beard a little bit.
He got Just for Men going.
Well, yeah,
and then, well, if you notice also in the scene, because I saw it the second time, they never clashed lightsabers, and he avoided him most of the whole time.
Can we just make that note right now before we close?
What?
This is the first Star Wars film that did not actually have a lightsaber to lightsaber duel. It didn't happen.
Well, you had the ones where Rey and
the Red Guard.
Yeah,
no,
but they
those
didn't
weren't-
have
but they didn't
lightsaber.
have lightsabers. They
There
had
was
these
that.
other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that.
that. I'm talking about lightsaber to lightsaber,
Yeah, like
man.
zoom,
Cool.
blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have that.
Yeah, they didn't have this
Why?
joint going on here. You know, they didn't have this.
What they should have done, I have a feeling they're holding all that off for episode 9 when Kylo and Rey goes to that final battle and they
I
shut the
think
lights off.
so.
Yeah, they shut the
Okay,
lights off and all you see is the blue and the red. Oh, that would be awesome.
Or maybe it's green and red.
No, it's not going to be green. It's
I've
gonna
got
be blue.
two. I've got two nitpicks from the script that kind of bothered me a little bit, and both times I heard them, it kind of like, ooh, that didn't
What?
sound right. When Luke says laser sword, I was like, why didn't he say lightsaber?
Oh,
Throughout
because
the
I
whole
said it before.
Because light sword
Really?
is from the text, from the Jedi
And-
book text.
Anakin said it in,
Okay.
in episode 1
Yeah,
when he saw Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber on his head.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, but that's a little 9-year-old kid who doesn't know any better.
No,
Well,
but in Jedi text, in the book, they consider it as light sword.
Okay, I didn't read those books.
Yeah, I know because
Neither did Luke.
yeah, Luke gave it to me. Threw it right there.
Okay, but here's another one that bothered me when Admiral
Akbar,
Purple Hair, no, Admiral
Oh,
Purple Hair looked out and said,
hold on,
"Godspeed."
hold on.
Yeah,
That's her
when
name.
she said Godspeed, I'm like, ooh, really? I mean, wasn't it May the Force be with you? I mean, I had never heard that in any of the other ones.
She said
Maybe it's in one of
Godspeed.
the-
Yeah,
Yes,
she
did.
said Godspeed when they went
Yes, she
into
did.
the other
when they were
planet.
trying to get away.
Yeah.
Maybe she's Jewish.
I don't know,
Or
but
Christian. I don't know.
yeah, that's a Holdo. I think her name is like Hold Holdo.
Hodor.
Hodor,
Hodor, yes.
General Hodor.
Hold the door, please.
Hodor. No,
But
but
anyway, those two little things.
Can we quickly talk about which is in my initial review what I brought up, one of I thought the best scenes was the hyperspace, the jump.
Yes.
The-
That was amazing.
Through the other ships?
Through
Yeah.
the other ship, yeah.
The way that was done, where the absence of sound and
Right.
music,
Yeah.
and it was great. I mean, I got goosebumps. So just
the late,
Yeah, that was pretty
the
cool.
late Carrie Fisher wrote that scene.
She did.
She was a script.
I read
She's a script doctor,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
she
and
wrote
she-
that scene, and she wrote the scene where Luke comes in and he does the Force thing. When
Yeah.
she says, "Oh, I don't answer the question," and she goes, "Oh, I changed my hair," and then he does the same thing.
Yeah.
She wrote those.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Emma,
Amazing.
she writes in the chat. I love how that scene was in complete silence.
Yeah.
it was in
very
space.
Yeah.
But the thing that I don't understand is it goes through, right? And the whole ship is still straight. I was like, wait a minute, why is it not going sideways, going down? You see Kylo Ren talking to General Hux. I was like, wait a minute, that ship just got torn apart. Unless they were in another ship.
Can I ask you about another scene? How'd you guys feel about the first scene with the bombers
I
against
did.
the
It was
dreadnought?
awesome.
I didn't have a problem with that.
I didn't have a problem with it.
No.
either.
I enjoyed that as well.
The only thing I hated was her kicking the ladder and all the TIE fighters are shooting around her. And I'm like, no one can hit this stupid big thing she's about to blow this up. Like the other bombers were getting blown up like in 2 seconds.
What I read, what people are having problems with that scene was the bombs.
Dropped like there was gravity.
Yeah, they're in gravity, and they did it. They hated that, and I'm like, but wait a minute. We
Yeah.
already accepted the fact that there's no air in space. and
Right.
we have explosions and sound and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I wasn't.
Yeah,
So
that
if
didn't
you want to
bother me.
get all scientific,
Yeah.
get scientific.
Then yeah, then no.
And they did that before Empire Strikes Back when the TIE bombers were bombing the asteroid they were hiding in.
Yes, and they could have been magnetic bombs. They
Exactly.
were going towards,
There you-
towards
there you
the source
go.
of.
I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was a great open.
No, me neither.
By the way,
Yeah.
Yeah, the dreadnought.
Right. That's what it's called, the dreadnought. was having a problem with
That was a
calling
great
it.
scene.
Yeah.
That guy-
Yeah, I thought it was mad great, especially when Poe did the stop and then he turned around. The
That
TIE
was
Oh,
pretty
that
cool.
was hot.
Yeah, he did a 180. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that was hot.
all the battle scenes, everything was just
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what I mean about being
Yeah,
unique.
spot on.
And the Falcon.
What about those AT-ATs?
they were right.
They were heavily
They were
armored.
great. They were great. But you know,
Yeah.
they were slow. So
Yeah, that's true. They're still slow.
It was slow. I was like, I'll see you in a half an hour when I get there in 50 yards. You
And
know,
they
that kind of thing.
Nina said, "How did we feel when we saw Kylo and Rey touching each other's hands in the cave?" I thought that was pretty cool. The whole
Yeah, Tim.
FaceTime or whatever you want to call it.
Time.
The force,
FaceTime.
yeah, the Force FaceTime.
Force FaceTime.
Yeah, the mind melt.
Space Skype.
Called
Yeah.
mind melt, right? He mind melted.
No, that's a Star Trek, dude.
No, he said he mind melted them. He connected them by
He
the.
used that word.
He said mind melt.
Oh, snap.
Did he?
It.
Yeah, he said mind melt. I mind melted your he said something together. Now I'm lost. But he said mind melt. I remember.
I'm glad they didn't say live long and prosper with that word.
No, he like that. He joined their brains together. That he mind melted them.
Right.
It was amazing, though. I
liked it.
did like the connection because she actually started thinking there was hope for him. Still, she
Well,
offered him a way out.
Right.
He didn't.
He didn't
Well,
take it.
And
Right.
that's what got him even more pissed off.
Right.
That Snoke tricked her with using him.
Mhm.
Like and that was cool. But yeah, the whole scene of them in that bar, I thought that was pretty cool. And then Luke and he was like, "Stop!" And then the cool thing about that scene, I don't know if you guys picked it up, when the rain starts to fall and Luke and Rey is fighting, right? When he hits her staff away and she ignites her lightsaber and he falls backwards, he stops himself with the Force and then he lowers himself into the ground. And then
I didn't catch that. I
Yeah.
got to
didn't
see
catch
this
that. That's
again.
good, yeah.
yeah,
Can we see this again, guys?
Cool.
All of us?
yeah,
Let's go.
let's go right now. We all,
Let's go.
Again, but like I said, like I definitely gonna see it again, but it's not the anticipation or the way I was with the other ones. But
No, we're gonna be analyzing it
And I
like,
hope-
really deeply.
I hope I get something different out of it, and maybe I will after the initial shock of the
Right.
direction, right?
And that's what I feel because I've heard it around the internet on other podcasts and other blogs that I read is when they go the second time, now they don't have that anticipation or expectation of questions to be answered. And now they can just enjoy it, you know.
Yeah,
Just
I
imagine
guess
somebody who was really preoccupied with the whole Snoke thing for the past 2 years.
I hate them.
That became nothing.
That's my biggest gripe.
You know, well, the next few scenes you might have not even paid attention because you're still upset about the fact, man, they just killed Snoke on me and I didn't find out who he was.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you can go back and you already know Snoke's going to get cut in half and enjoy that part of it and say, whoa,
Nah, man.
I probably would have enjoyed this more if I had realized that the first time around.
Nah, man. He's gonna come back with mechanical legs like Darth Maul.
He was nobody.
what did you guys think?
Oh, he was Rey's parent.
No. What I was saying is what
Oh, baby. He was the drunk Jack.
what did
No. That's why he looked like that. It was all that mad. We just solved the mystery of Snoke.
There you go.
No, what did you guys think when you saw it and the whole audience participated with the movie? So this was the first time I saw it, Star Wars at a midnight,
Mm-hmm.
like the first showing of the movie.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the minute the music hit, everyone clapped. The minute they showed Luke Skywalker, everyone clapped. Yoda, everyone went bananas. Even the
Yeah.
Super Leia, everyone went crazy. Which I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. The Rey and when the minute they did Rey and Kylo fighting back to back, that whole scene, everyone stand up. That was the first time I ever seen that.
Wow. That's cool.
Up and they started clapping and cheering, and you saw popcorn flying.
That's great.
That's cool.
I had the steel tin. I was like, I ain't messing up my steel tin. But yeah, that was the first time I ever seen the interaction like that. I thought it was crazy. Like people went bananas. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Lord Almighty. Even
Yeah.
the Force Awaken Luke. I mean, Force Awaken. The foreshadow
Yeah.
came out and he did this.
Yeah.
The whole theater
Yeah.
went bananas again. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
god. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And the second time around, it was packed on a Monday morning, 10 o'clock, and all those scenes,
Wow.
everybody did the same thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know how the backlash is happening because everyone is cheering and getting crazy
Yeah.
on these scenes. Everyone's kind of quiet when the whole stupid casino scene. But the minute they show those big major scenes, I mean, I didn't even get amped thinking about it now when she grabs that blue lightsaber and they just go toe to toe in slow motion. I'm like, hands down, the best scene I think in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think it's the best scene in out of all the fights. He had Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan.
Well, what's funny?
The Anakin versus
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, amazing scene from beginning to 30 minutes of fighting, but way too much CGI. This scene, Rey and Kylo going against it, that was the best scene.
That was, yes, that was very good.
It was. I liked it.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I guess it proves that you can have a Star Wars movie without an actual lightsaber fight.
You could. You didn't need it.
Didn't think of it.
Yeah, you really didn't need it. Like, I think that was the epic moment of the movie. I mean, besides Luke doing his thing,
Yeah,
I think that was the most, like, the minute he kills him and the lightsaber blows and she catches it one-handed, you start to get pumped. You're like, oh, yeah, because you knew something crazy was going to happen. And the minute they go together and then, you know, the story takes place and then he goes, you know, we could do our own thing. Man, I'm telling you, that scene alone is making me want to go see it again. And yeah.
Come on, Alex, let's go.
I'll go. You let me know. I'll go see it again.
Yeah,
I have no problem with the movie.
We'll go see it together and we'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll do it. I have no problems with that. All right, so let's end it here. Pablo, you want to say anything? Because you like a sad little. You're doing the sad Batman in the corner.
No, I'm listening.
Oh yeah, because you like sad Batman. You like this. You like you're right there.
With the Incredible Hulk theme. Ding, bling,
yeah, you like bing 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 bing.
I wanted to say, that's it. Really quickly, I thought that, like, maybe like the MVP of the movie was BB-8. I think he's excellent in this. I mean, he has so many great parts. The beginning when he helps out Paul.
Yeah.
At towards the end when he shows up with the AT-ATs.
That was very Rebels cartoon. Yeah. Like if you watch Rebels cartoon, it's so like I wasn't too crazy because it reminded me of the cartoon. Yeah. Like especially with the whole like when Poe goes, "Oh, I want to talk. We have a message for General Hux." That is so cartoon. If you watch the cartoon, and then he goes, "I am the Supreme Leader," and he goes, "Oh, I'm on hold." Yeah.
Let's not forget.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
It also happened in Return of the Jedi where the Ewoks took over one of the AT-STs and.
Yeah, I mean, if you like that,
he gets in there. You know, it was good. I liked it.
It was pretty cool. I mean, he's like the replacement R2-D2 because R2-D2 didn't get no love in this movie. Normally he does.
No, he didn't fly around or anything.
Yeah. So I mean, if you think he's the MVP, to me the MVP of the movie was Kylo Ren. Hands down. From the transformation from him being a sissy boy in Force Awakens and then right to what he is now, I'm like, man, ain't no coming back.
Yeah, ain't no coming back.
Yeah,
and 3PO and Luke winked at 3PO and 3PO.
That's what I wanted to say. When someone winks at you in the movie, that means something is gonna go down. Something's going down. It happened in 007 Skyfall when he winked at the new M. He gave him the wink, and he was like, "Listen, I'm gonna show you how it's done. How an old guy is gonna take these bags, old school style." And he shot everybody up. Luke did the same thing. He gave him the wink, and the Tate Quieto came all over the place. I was like, oh, boy. I'm telling you, when someone winks in a movie, people, get prepared because action is about to go down. Like, and you ain't going to be satisfied. And I love that scene when he winked at 3 people. And I was like, oh, man. But, yes. So, Pablo, what do you want to... Let's end it now because we're about to hit an hour and 23-minute mark. This is gonna be like a Star Wars movie review.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Pablo, end it off.
I think that's it. I think I said everything that I wanted to say about this movie.
And for those of you who have a visual, want to check out my review on it, we talked a lot about it here. I have it on my Strange Planet channel, Strange Planet NYC on YouTube. So come check that out.
Yeah, Ralph rated it exactly like Phantom Menace. So he tells you he didn't like it.
Word.
Yeah, he gave.
But you know what? I got to see it again. Let me see it again.
You see it again. Yeah. That moon is gonna change. I'm gonna make it change.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Silvio. End it with your About Men radio.
Just quickly, I liked the movie. I said I was real close. It kept me away from loving it. One of the things I really liked also was the diversity of the characters, the different races and everything in it. The fact that they're going in a new direction. We saw at the end the kid with the broom actually had some force sensitivity about him. So we're looking at what's going to happen next, the next generation. I thought that was great. A couple of my friends at aboutmenradio.com have a podcast, and they had their views, and that should be dropping sometime this week. So aboutmenradio.com, check out the podcast there. Chris and Pedro give their review.
All right. For me to end off, I will say is I will go see it for the third time, and I will enjoy it for the third time. Maybe I'll go to the bathroom during the casino scene and come back once that's done.
Good choice.
But yeah. But
Refill your
yeah, I
popcorn.
enjoyed it. I thought the movie took big risk,
Mhm.
and I thought it was good that they took big risks. I thought they didn't need to play it safe. I thought they needed to. But one thing I do want to end it with is I hope they end it at episode 9. Don't continue the story in line after
Right.
episode 9.
Right.
Do
Mhm.
some other arc, do some other stuff. I'll enjoy that, but end this whole thing at episode 9.
I agree.
So I want to end this with guys in the chat and girls in the chat. Thank you for joining us live. If you guys
Thank you.
haven't subscribe, hit the like button. We're live every Wednesday. I don't know if we're doing this Wednesday.
Yeah, why not? It's a few days after Christmas. By the
Yeah.
way, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone from us.
Everybody.
You want to leave us
And
emails with
whatever
Star
else you believe.
Yeah, if you want to leave us emails about Star Wars and stuff, we might even talk about it when we come back, because I bet most likely these guys watched it twice and they want to give their second review on it. Just email us at widerangemiediapodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at widerangemedia. Until next time, guys, may the force be with you, and happy New Year and Merry Christmas.